I wasn't expecting company, but if you stay out of the shrubs and flower beds, you could stay.
Give them a wave, Pops, now that you've invited them in. We're two old guys who enjoy playing sandbox and survival games together. I'm Uncle Craig. Go ahead and sit down. Let's visit for a while.
With the gyroscopes on, we're going to go ahead and hop in the cockpit. I think we're just about ready to disconnect from the station and let this ship hover so we can get that additional upward thrust on there. I like to go through the control panel and kind of rename things. You'll see a lot of stuff that's in other colors. Those are part of the grids to which I am connected, which is the station. Everything in white is this ship that I'm in. So I'm going to go through, and even though it looks like it takes a bit of time, I find it is very helpful to get everything named so that it's easy to find when you're connected to a station or some other grids. So I like to just do it right up front, because if I don't, I work around the problems instead of just addressing them. So here you'll see me rename all the thrusters the same name, but you'll notice in the list, because of the way the cockpit is oriented, it tells me which thrusters are pointing in which direction. So that's all I need to know. Otherwise, they can all have the same name, so they could be grouped together. And I'm actually going to make a block group for these called thrusters, so that should be all of the thrusters for this grid. So now, when I want to select all of those, I just click on minor thrusters and I'll get them all. See, we got batteries here, and so let's rename these two, and we'll group those. We need to switch their settings. We could do that as a group. Cockpit. That I'm going to leave. Well, because I'm only really going to see that and need it when I'm sitting in the cockpit, I'm going to turn that off in the terminal as well. Minor connector, and then something else I'm going to do on here on the connector is uncheck that. I never use parking anyway. I find it works a bit smoother without that. I don't know why. I take that off. Terminal. Drills, and we're not going to use these very often. We're not going to change the setting of the drills very often, and we're not going to run the drills as a block. I'll show you what I mean by that here. Oops, I made this one plural. Nothing special I'm going to do there except take it off the terminal. Gyroscope, which again allows us to turn. Oops. This always takes a little bit of time up front, but I find it pays off. Now you'll notice there that I took it off the terminal, don't show it in terminal, and I still have the group here. They actually are still selected down in the list there. I'll show you. Even though you don't see it. Alright, so let's see here. These are the thrusters, so we already have those selected here. Let's add these flat atmospherics to the list. We'll save it now. So I used control click. I selected, should probably walk through that, selected the group, used control left click to add them to the list and save. But I also want to change their name. I'm just going to give them all this same name. Now you can see it's pretty easy once this list sorts properly. Pretty easy to see which thrusters I have, where they're at. They're all going to be in one group no matter what kind of thruster they are. The kind of thruster doesn't matter. In fact, let's select that group, take them off the terminal. I don't need to see them every time. My container. Okay, so we got multiple containers, but how do I have multiple containers? Let me look here, something strange. Oh yeah, I got the smaller ones. Sorry, I got the tiny ones that are on the front. Right, that was the change that I made. These I don't need grouped necessarily, because there's not really anything I'm going to do to the containers. All right, and then I have these thrusters here. Now you say, well, didn't we weld them all up on the miner? Yes, we did. These four are the ones that we disassembled on the pod, and so I'll probably just grind those off completely now. So we're all set. Let's take a look here. There's our ship. We have it ready to control. Let me change the toolbar now at the bottom of the page. That's how we're going to control this thing. And so what we're going to want to do is make sure we have our thrusters on. So I think we have groups for a lot of this. So we have thrusters, I'm going to put that here. Toggle block on. I'm going to put the drill over here, but I'm not going to take the drills that we set up as a group. I'm going to grab tool blocks, and this gives us access to general tools, and it can use those in a special way. So I'm just going to put it on 9 because I don't need it to be pressed by me. And what this is going to do now is allow us to use our drills on our ship just like we would the drill in our hand. Let's go back to the groups, the drills, the gyroscopes, thrusters. Landing gear oh, that's on the pod? Oh, it's underneath. We set the landing gear. No, we didn't. Where's the landing gear? No, it is the pod. The landing gear that's on the pod. That's a group we created back then. I don't know why it's showing up here, except that I'm connected to the station, so I can actually control those from here. That's interesting. Batteries, I'm not going to worry about. Connector, I am. So let's go to this group, see if there's anything else in here let's type miner. Look at that. Now we got just the stuff for the miner. Connector.
Like, subscriber, get off my lawn.
And I'm going to use that to switch the lock, switch lock. Okay, so when I tap it, if it's locked, it will be unlocked. If it's unlocked, it will be locked. So we're going to go ahead and release from the connector. Before I do, I want to fire up my thrusters. Now they're all off. Looks like they were all on. old guy. And now I'm going to disconnect from the connector and see how this works. Look at that. We're all set. Now, what I want to do is get that other thruster right here. This little extra thrust. This may cause these... It will. It's going to cause these two thrusters to fall off. I don't know of a way to get around that unless... Let's do this temporarily. Now I think... Yeah, see, now I can grind this off. It's yellow instead of red. I can grind this off and not lose the thrusters, and then I'll take those off in a moment. Take this off. And we'll do the same thing here. Okay. And then, where'd I have those thrusters? There we go. 4. Oops. There we go. And we want the curved one like that. Well, there we go. Right like that. Look at that. All right. And we'll get that one named properly, but we'll do it right here. I'm going to hold down Control for Build Vision, scroll down 1 click, and then I'm going to left click, and I'm going to press Enter. Now you'll see me type in the chat, but you'll also see the little cursor in this list. So this is a really confusing part, but if I go Miner, Thruster, and press Enter again, now that's set. The block is on, I don't want it terminal, and everything else is okay. Right click to get out of that menu. There we go. So now we have all of our thrusters there. I'm going to make sure that it's grouped properly. I backed up just enough to get it to magnetize, and then I pressed 1 to connect it. Now that it's connected, I can turn off my thrusters. All right, and let's get rid of these 2 blocks. There we go. Now there's a couple other things we're going to do to this. One is put a but I'm gonna treat this as if we are on a server. So the first thing we're going to do is get an ore detector on here. I know we have that somewhere. 5. I'm going to turn it. There. We have an ore detector. Over here, I'm going to put a beacon. And this is to treat it as if we're on a server. Give you kind of that feel. When most servers, they require you to have a beacon on your all of the grids that you want to keep. Put a beacon on it. I usually put an antenna too, but I think we're okay without that for now. The beacon, by the way, doesn't, most servers doesn't have to be welded up. I'm going to weld it up because if it is damaged or falls off or breaks when I'm on a server, then I will lose my grid. We're going to make sure we don't lose it. I'm going to put those on the queue because I'm sure I don't have enough supplies for it. And then we're going to weld this up as well. Says it was successful, so I should be able to weld both of these up now. There's our beacon. I'm going to hold down control, scroll down one. Whoops. Minor beacon. I'm going to come down here and actually turn. Well, I'm going to leave it on. That's right, because we do not have an antenna on there. Turn it off in the terminal. Right here's the HUD text. And so I don't want it to say minor beacon on my HUD. I just want it to say minor. So I can find it. And we're going to crank this up. Usually on a server, you don't want to turn it up as high as you can. In this case, we're going to do that. So 200 kilometers. Because we don't have any reason not to. There's no NPCs yet or anything like that. And I'm going to turn that off actually. So save that power. And then here, finish welding this. Left control, scroll down one. Oh, I took the wrong. I think I got the thruster instead. So let me put that back. Gyro detector. There we go. I should have been more careful. Minor detector 4. And then toggle block on. Show terminal no. Range. We're going to crank this up to a center. And I usually just put in a big number and it will self-correct. So 50 is the highest we can go. Broadcast using antennas. I don't think that's going to be effective unless I have an antenna. I'm going to think if that's going to be helpful. Let's just leave that as it is for now. You get in here and let's take at least a maiden voyage. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Let's get at least one load of something here. We know we're going through a lot of iron and cobalt, so let's go see if we can take care of that rock that's over here. Now one thing I can do, I'll show you, because I am going to be going some distances to different things. I'm going to press G, or excuse me, press K, and I'm going to find all of the thrusters that push in a negative direction, so backwards. We're going to group these. So I clicked the one, shift click the last one on the list. Over here we're going to say minor thrusters reverse. Press escape, press G to go to my toolbar config, groups, and right here I have reverse. I'm going to put those on hotbar 3. Why would I do that? Toggle those on and off. Well, right now there is thrust in all directions. And so when I try to go forward, it's as long as I don't push W, it's going to try to stabilize me. The dampeners are going to try to hold my position like they are right now. If I turn off those thrusters in the front, you'll see I'm already, well, especially if I point down a little bit. I'm not really moving in a forward direction yet, but let me go forward. There we go. Sorry. Now I have all my forward thrusters off. And I think I pushed the wrong button before. So now it's moving me forward, even though I'm not pressing W. So now if I press W and I pick up speed, and I'm using up power, and I watch my power on the right when I let go of W. Now my power goes way down to 12, and I'm still going roughly the same speed. Slowing down a little bit because I'm elevated in my attitude. But now I'm going to bring it back down. Reduce my attitude, and my speed, my velocity will increase. Okay? I press 3 so I can slow down here a bit. Then we're going to come down to this iron that we've been working at. And now we're just going to get rid of it. There we go. Now I'm going to come up close to it and I'm going to hold down W, or hold down my left mouse button. Now I'm going to press V. I should have mentioned that before. V to change my camera angle from being third person to first person. And I'm going to hold my right mouse button. Now if I double click, it's not going to do like my hand drill did where it just kept drilling. So I'm going to have to hold the left mouse button. Now you'll see in the middle it's filled up my inventory of the ship. So right here you see my cockpit is full, and if I press this to see all containers, you can see all the containers are pretty full now. Don't know if there's any space. There's a little bit of space left in the drill heads, that's all. But in my cockpit, I do have access to the storage. So if I take, for instance, if I take the stone, double click it, while I have myself selected over here, I'm pulling the stone out of the ship. It's going to come in handy. I'll do it the next time, really. It's going to come in handy for getting rid of the stone till we have a better mechanism for doing that. But for now, we'll do that. And I got both inventories full, both the drills and the cargo container. We'll see how this thing functions under load. I'm going to press V to see what's going on. Oh, I got damage. And I can see, I think I have damage. Let's press K. Take a look and see if anything's damaged. It is not. Now, one way I can deal with this is by throwing out the stone. We'll see if this works better without the stone in it at all. Inventory. I see that I didn't get rid of the inventory that I had. That's going to be a pain in the neck. We'll just toss these out. Kind of disappointed in myself for that. Should have emptied my inventory. Then this would have been a lot easier. Obviously, though, we are going to need a bit more thrust from down below, I think. Some upward thrust. Maybe not. But it seems like that would be advantageous. We had a lot more stone than iron. I'm not too worried about that this time around. Next time I'll want to be able to hold more. But there we go. I'd like to be able to hold a full capacity. Now you can see I'm picking up speed much slower. My acceleration is much lower than it was before, because I'm full. But this gave us a good feel for. It's funny, I got targeting on. Gave us a much better feel for now how well this is going to fly. We've got a mining ship. This should be much faster, much easier once we get a couple things corrected. It's funny, I did something that turned on targeting. I'm going to be careful of the wind turbines. Now I could use Z to drop down, but I'm going to actually use the thrusters. I want a more controlled descent right now when I'm under load. First time I'm using the ship. Not familiar with it yet. Let's turn my view around here. We will also, I think, put a camera on the back. I find that helps. It's an old guy thing, like curb feelers. Kind of a old guy thing for making sure I'm not going to scratch my fenders. There we go. Press 1 to connect. Turn off my thrusters. Get my inventory. Over here, we will look just at the miner. And then over here, we're going to look at all the containers we have available on the base. And I don't have the base name properly, so the only way I know which one it is, it's right here. And for, oh, that's in the pod. Here it is, small cargo container. Let's dump all this in here. I'll even put the stone in there. It's not going to hurt us to process that. So there we go. We picked up, we almost filled that container. There's 4,000 left for that. And there you have our new craft. So that's it for today. We will do more next time, get some more mining done, get some more cobalt, get this place built out just enough so we can go a little further. We were stuck there with cobalt, lack of cobalt for a while. We should be able to move forward pretty quickly when we get back next time. So hope to see you in game, guys. Have fun.